Hello, welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. We are playing our Anafenza company deck once again, and this time we are playing against Zoo. So let's get underway, shall we? So this is our opening hand. We've got a Viscera Seer, Kitchen Finks, Flicker Wisp. This looks fairly reasonable as a hand. I would definitely keep this, but I think I accidentally mulliganed this hand away. I assume it was an accident. I don't see really any particular reason to throw this hand back. Looks fairly good, but yeah, it ends up we accidentally mulligan. Fortunately, our 6-card hand is also very nice. Actually, slightly better curve as well. So we've got Hierarch into Kitchen Finks or Anafenza, depending on how we want to play that, and then we've got Collected Company. So if we draw another land, we should be able to cast that, provided our Hierarch survives. So that looks fairly good. We're on the play, so we're going to lead off with Forest into Hierarch, Stomping Ground into Wild Nicottle. Fortunately, a turn 3 Kitchen Finks is going to come down for us, which is a nice answer to a turn 1 Nicottle, and should hamper his attacks somewhat. Put got Scavenge News, not something we particularly want to see. It turns off our combo. Also means he can eat up our Kitchen Finks, so we don't get as much value off it. But he's not attacking, which is definitely good in this situation. Anafenza means we can return Kitchen Finks indefinitely, which is nice, but obviously we need to make sure he doesn't have any green mana open with the Scavenging Ooze, so see how that turns out for us. So you can play Anafenza and Bop this turn. You can put +1/+1 counter on the Bop. I can actually potentially fly over for damage if I want to. So I was just going to attack here. Maybe slightly aggressive, but given that you can't really block here, given that Kitchen Finks will just come back. I've got Exalted as well, so I feel like that was a reasonable play. If we don't particularly want to block with the Kitchen Finks, given that he's just going to keep a mana to eat it with the Scavenging Ooze probably, so I think attacking is pretty much fine there. We'll put the Smiter, attack to 3 with his Wild Nicottle. Green, which is slightly dangerous for him. I think I might collect the company here. No, I'm just going to attack him with the Kitchen Finks to start with, I think. I'll let him untap. Potentially could have collected company there. If I'd done the collected company, then we could have, if we found a Viscera Seer, we could have just comboed off with our opponent untapped. Tapped out on green sources, so that might not have been a bad idea. It looks like we're just going for the potential surprise play. Attack for 5. Here we collected company. We found a couple of Flicker Wisps, Kitchen Finks. Decided to drop in the Flicker Wisps, mainly because they can just fly over his creatures, which seems fairly good for us. So quite a few things going on here, so we just put the cards back at the bottom. Double trigger on Anafenza. We can make both our Flicker Wisps into 4/2s, which is very nice. It's one of the Flicker Wisp with Anafenza, just because you are making very powerful flyers. So yeah, we get rid of the Locked On Smiter. There's not much else we can do that's useful, so we're just going to take the Stomping Ground, which is then going to have to come back into play tapped. Unless he wants to pay 2 life, which obviously he doesn't because he's on 9. So yeah, that leaves him in a position where he's not really actually able to use his Scavenging Ooze, as he'll have to crack his fetch and then he'll die to the Flicker Wisp attack. So seems like we're in. So I attack with my guys. I just didn't necessarily need to attack with the Kitchen Finks there, but in the same token, he's on 1, so I should attack with the Bop actually to force lethal there. But it doesn't make a great deal of difference. I think my opponent concedes here. Yeah, so our opponent concedes. I should have attacked him with the Bop as well, for the actual lethal. but I don't think it would have made a ton of difference overall. There's a there, so that was game one. Went pretty well for us. We managed to slow him down with an early kitchen finks, and then Collected Company really did a lot of work to help us overwhelm our opponent from there on out. So let's go into game two. See if we can get our opener up. So here's our opener. We actually just have a straight combo of Viscera, Kitchen Finks and Anafenza, and we've got the coloured lands to do it as well. So that works out pretty nicely. We've got Godless Shrine here, so we can lead off with a Godless Shrine, then set up a Temple Garden with Windswept Heath, and then play Kitchen Finks. So if none of our creatures die, we can win this fairly swiftly. He's going. He's going to hit us for 2 here with his Hierarch. Obviously not going to block. Crackle Windswept Heath. Garden to play Anafenza. Pass the turn. That's a 13 though, so we have taken quite a considerable amount of pain. Someone plays another Pride Mage, so he's got 3 exalted triggers, so he's going to attack with a 5/5 Pride Mage, which is not great for us, but again, still don't want to block. Potentially we can combo for the Anafenza, so that didn't work out as well as we would have liked. He'll play Kitchen Finks. It's going to get potentially chump block if he's just going to attack with a creature a turn, and we've got Gavany Township as well, so chump blocking is not even that bad because potentially we can just put the counters back on. So yeah, if he's going for these exalted attacks, we don't feel too bad about our situation, because I feel like our long-term game is fairly good with Gavany Township, Collected Company to drop in some more creatures, so it seems like a decent situation for us. Kitchen Finks actually, after we blocked, he doesn't have trample or anything, so we could have got a free scry there, so missed a trick there. Couldn't play the Kitchen Finks as his own. Oh, another trick I missed was I didn't, and actually it was fairly important, is I didn't sack Anafenza to Viscera Sea when it got targeted with Path. If I had have done, we could have just won here. We've got Eternal Witness into Anafenza. Oh well. Actually, we couldn't have just won. We'd have to have played another creature, I suppose. But if we hadn't, if we still chump blocked, if we hadn't chump blocked, then we would have been able to just win. Because we could have played Eternal Witness, get back Anafenza, cast Anafenza. So, thing about Anafenza actually, which is different from Malaria combo, is with Malaria, if you had a -1/-1 counter already on your creature, then it was basically useless. Wasn't a whole lot you could do about that. But with the Anafenza, if you play another creature, you can put a +1/+1 counter back on it, and then sack it and start doing things. So there's a way around it, so to speak. So yeah, could have played that in a different way, in which we would have actually been coming off this turn, though I suppose it would have been a bit of a risk, given that we would have had a whole turn of mana and open, so we don't know exactly if that would have worked. So as it is, I think I end up playing another Kitchen Finks. We've got a load of them, and we've got Gavany Township, which is a fairly good situation to be in, particularly as he is going down this just attack with one creature route. So he attacks with a 6/5 Kitchen Finks. He's going to chump block. I get the scry this time. I picked up on the mistake. See, company on top. End up bottoming that. I guess we've already got Collected Company, so we don't particularly need another one. But it wouldn't have been a terrible draw. So I suppose that's up for debate as to whether that was the best or of ideas. Attacks again with his Kitchen Finks. and get the exalted triggers going. I'm just looking to block with both and then activate Gavin. So I do. I'm just going to bolt one of the Finxes in response, so that's going to get killed, but getting to get a scry off it anyway. I think it sees a hierarch, and this still doesn't end up too bad a situation for us. He plays a Goyf, so he is playing multiple creatures, but we can also play multiple creatures now, so I can play Eternal Witness, get back my Finx, and play another Finx. And again, I feel like we're in a better position overall, just thanks to Gavany Township. We can repeatedly use Finx. Like a fairly good position, and I'm on 20 life, so despite all his attacking and additional exalted abilities, it hasn't really amounted to much. So he attacks in, he's got a 2-3 Goyf, a 3-2 Kitchen Finx, so nothing majorly exciting. I'm just going to block off these Pride Mages and get them killed off. I'm going to get my Finx back, so it doesn't seem too bad, and then I can Gavany Township potentially next turn to reuse them. As it is, I'll just play a Finx. With both my Kitchen Finx. Got my opponent down to 14. And I think I was going to Flicker Wisp. I think I might have misclicked again there. I was going to Flicker Wisp and flicker one of my Kitchen Finx to get it back without the -1/-1 counter, but I think it was a misclick again. Or maybe my plan was to Abrupt Decay the Goyf, I suppose. I don't think it makes a great deal of difference, but I suppose we're just knocking him down on creatures that are particularly useful for him. So yeah, block the Finx. He's attacking with. Both get one back. There's another Goyf, but the point doesn't hugely matter. I'm just going to use Gavany Township now while he's tapped out. So I've just got a fresh load of Finx, which is pretty awesome. Plays a fetch land, which doesn't do a great deal. I've got an Offender, which means our Finx is... And actually we just got the combo actually, so yeah, we can just gain infinite life. But we're just going to attack in as well, and we've got Gavany Township open as well, so we can actually start increasing the size of our Kitchen Finx. So we're just way ahead at this point. So yeah, I mean, we can outpower Zoo, which does seem pretty cool. Obviously, if they get very fast starts, then they're going to be able to beat us, but I think a combination of Collective Company and Kitchen Finx and things makes it difficult, their life very difficult, and like our additional sort of combo win and other things kind of gives us a bit of an advantage, I feel, provided they're not super fast. So yeah, worked out pretty well overall in this Zoo matchup.